Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport for having a brand new season, and it's about to go on to have a brand new championship event to start out in the Road to GT7 Series. Sorry for the very long delay. I've been having some major stress for doing some video editing, so let's take a good look for this brand new event is going to be look like. This special championship leads up to the release of Gran Turismo 7 on March 4th. Official race will soon move from Gran Turismo Sport to GT7, so get your game on and enjoy this unique and final series for GT Sport. This will be the final championship in the game, so we can probably have to look forward onto Gran Turismo 7, so we could probably have to start out in 4 rounds on every Saturday. Starting out in round 1 at Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop in 10 laps, by using the N300 category, we'll be doing the first one to participate. 5 race entries available at the time to be starting out at 1600 hours, so better make sure to set your time for the reminder. First up, I'm about to choose the Ford GT40 Mark I with the UDRS InSportec livery to be selected to be on the balance of performance. 76% in the power and 269 horsepower. Weight is going to increase at 119% in 2,833 pounds. But there is also one more thing before you can enter. Tuning work is now enabled in every 4 rounds, so we have to make sure to organize, build up a strategy, practice, and make your mark onto the top 3 positions. So do your best out there. Make a best luck to all of us before we can move forward. If you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below, and check out the links on the description if you really want to see more. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the first round in the Road to GT7. Let's begin. Welcome to the start for the Road to GT7 Series, folks. Starting out in round 1, Tokyo Expressway for the N300 category will be going in on the rolling start. First up in pole position number 1, Resort Crabs in the Ford GT40 Mark I, followed by second place, Rev_Limit Pusher in the Mazda RX-500. Here we have Road_Hog2 arrive in position number 3. And here's myself in 4th place for the UDRS InSportec livery of the Ford GT40. Someone_Terrible is here at position number 5 at the go. And we have Cycle Crowley join in session at position number 6. 7th place driver is Cartoni 318 is arrived. And here we have 8th place driver Joshua JB in the Mazda RX-500 1970 model with a different livery. And also forget, Warren Static in 9th place will be welcome on board. And we have PR Swapman in 10th place will be at the official red color variant. Major_Kudos is arrived on position number 11. Fast Ginger 2 in the KTM Expo R in 12th place. 13th place driver is Vincent Van 38 in the red color Ford GT40. Kensru 2 in 14th place for the Honda NSS Type R is now welcome on board. And here's Demonizer in 15th place for the KTM Expo R. Dag_Burnett in 16th place. Next up in position number 17, Keno R in the Gulp livery with the car number 6 of the Ford GT40. John 92 10 10 20 is here at position number 18. Position number 19 is the Ghost 24. And also, last but not least, we got some good 19 drivers will be welcome on board to have a nice rolling start to be in the South Inner Loop session. Well, looks like it's been a long way to start out in 2022. That means the final championship in Gran Turismo Sport is about to go upon us, you guys. Let's see some best racing moments whenever we're about to start out in 3 seconds. And going green and start out to be in the first round in the Road to GT7 Series will be going in underway. Good luck out there, folks, and remember, keep on racing, stay clean to accomplish your way on to victory. Now, looks like Road_Hog2 dives in onto turn 1, and Resort Crabs is now going in onto the right side, and looks like Rev_Limit Pusher is pushing in onto first place, will be going on the front line in the lead. That makes two Ford GT40s are now on the pursuit chase to catch up on the single Mazda RX 500 to be on the full straightaway before entered onto turn number 2. Better keep it up onto the braking point inside of the apex, and there's someone underscore terrible to be dived in at turn number 2 before entered onto turn 3. Resort Crabs is now moving on into third place to be being overtaken by Road underscore Hog 2, and he's going faster to catch up onto Rev underscore Limit Pusher in first place at the lead. Take the right turn, coming in towards the end of the first sector before moving on into sector number 2, and it's going to be a fierce battle with multiple Ford GT40s, includes a single Mazda RX 500 will be entered onto the tunnel to be on the curved straightaway. Let's see some good slipstream and clean handling, but the contact is going to get a little bit careful out there to avoid having a 1.5 second penalty. Exercise caution while you can. Now, looks like it's time to go in to do some action. Drop down onto position number 7 while UDRS Insportec is going to have to do some handling check with a Ford GT40. Coming in onto the hairpin, and here's Joshua JP coming in with a different livery of the Mazda RX 500 before pressing on towards the end of sector number 2. Keep things up a notch, UDRS. I hope I could probably have to do everything I could. Insportec is counting on me to take home the podium. Climbing up by the struggle with some tuning work is going to be doing some research until going to be well improved before the competition kicks off to start out onto the final step. Press on to be in the S-curves and going in onto the final turn before at the end of the first lap. There you go, Road underscore Hog 2, you can do it. Take the first position and coming in onto the fastest lap time in lap number 2 to be moving on in 2 minutes 27.124 seconds to be on the warm-up. That's a very good, remarkable run out there to have a single Ford GT40 in the lead. There's someone underscore terrible coming in onto position number 2. Time to switch things up onto the field map whenever we might need to do a pit stop will be available at the single time is going to be a new step of the mandatory requirement. Just like having a stop and go tire compound switch, but it might have to do perfectly according to the race details. Now it comes in onto turn number 2. Gonna have to keep a good pressure eyes checked. Inside of the apex is gonna get a little bit wide open. That's the spirit. No getting caught in the 1.5 second penalty for UDRS Insportec, and it's green light for good and press on to be in the next corner at turn number 7. Now looks like Cycle Crowley is going to be on the ongoing rush to catch up onto Joshua JB in the Mazda RX 500. Coming in onto sector number 2 by entered at the straightaway tunnel will be pressed on to be on the progression to do some slipstream. But it might have to do a high-speed battle between one iconic roadster vehicle is going to be Retro Supercar for having an American supercar to do some excellent battle. So let's see how Joshua JB can actually try to do a breaking point onto the hairpin while Cycle Crowley does the same, and looks like there's major kudos in 8th place with the same Ford GT40 with a Gulf Theme livery in it as well. That makes Insportec is having some desperate measures to be coming down onto position number 9. The middle session is going to be a little bit hot on the zone before press on to be in the 3rd sector. Let's see how the handling can actually keep things up a notch. There you go, inside the cornering without the apex, just gonna have to stay balanced without losing the grip. And then press on again to be in the final corner and keep things up onto the slipstream before at the end of lap number 2. There goes Road underscore Hog 2 new lap time, folks. 2 minutes 17.471 seconds. So I hope you guys could probably have to support him when he's in the lead. He makes a very good choice to have all kinds of different liveries to represent CNF. After having some struggle efforts for UDRS Insportec with the same Ford GT40 in a different livery. So that makes for having a good eyes check on major kudos, and Cycle Crowley is now going in to take on for the side-by-side into the 2nd straightaway before entered on turn number 2. Breaking point comes in, and here comes Insportec will be going danger close. That's more like it. Turn 3 will be giving a good sharp edge and press on to take turn 4 and 5. Turn 6 will have to keep a good exercise caution without getting caught in the penalty by ignoring the track limit. Green light for go, and press on to be in the right turn before at the end of sector number 1 to be in the single section in Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop. And here goes Cycle Crowley to be pressed on to be in 7th place to be on the ongoing battle, while Major Kudos is now going in to take the slipstream by the chase. There it goes right now. Major Kudos are now going in to take the right side to have that chance to do a slipstream to get closer onto Cycle Crowley's current position. Better keep up the pace. Take that braking point to be going in earlier. And there goes Vincent and 38 is now moving on in. Oh boy, looks like this may be quite having a contact for Insportec to go on the outside. And looks like there's Dak Burnett in 10th place. And PR Suave trade paint at Insportec after taking the hairpin before press on to be dropped down automatically in 12th place. Man, this is going to be very difficult to take that grueling battle with 4 GT40s to be in the first round in the road to GT7. So I hope you guys really so hyped up for Gran Turismo 7. But I'm so hyped as well because it has all kinds of good extraordinary features from the past, present, and future of the Gran Turismo game. Starts out in the first GT game back in 1998. But celebrate the 25th anniversary to the franchise because Polypity Digital did a good, fantastic work out there to have all kinds of automotive vehicles to be welcomed to every part of the Gran Turismo games. Just like the Ford GT40 was also to be debuted in Gran Turismo 2 back in 1999. This vehicle is a very good choice as a special model to be taking part in the historic Racing Car Cup. But this car is a very good OP to have a good opportunity to have some different performance and slightly advantage to be challenging with some different classic vehicles to be part from GT2. So now it's time to get back in onto the action scene to be in the 4th lap. Insportec is still currently in position number 12 by having a trouble timing after the last lap was going to be having some major contact with some 3 Ford GT40 drivers between 9, 10 through 11th place, and currently to be having some slightly disadvantage for Insportec to be dropped down on position number 12. Will Insportec can actually tries to come up with a different game plan strategy to catch up with some stronger opponents before moving on to take the next round in the Special Championship Series towards Gran Turismo 7's release. But it will have to be patient soon. 4 rounds will be set in schedule around in February in next Saturday. Gonna have to pull the brake, and oh boy, looks like Dag_Burnett just barely took a late braking point at the hairpin towards the outside corner. That was gonna be quite giving a little bit more effort out there for Insportec. Same position and press on to be in the 2nd sector clear at the end and moving on in sector 3. According for the update for the fastest lap time, we have Someone_Terrible beat Road_Hog2's lap time in 2 minutes 16.828 seconds. Incredible! Someone_Terrible is in the lead by overtake Road_Hog2's position to be dropped down in number 2. So that makes Resort Crabs is now climbing up onto the bronze position at 3rd position. And here comes lap number 5 after leaving lap number 4. It's about to go on to take the rush whenever we have to keep an eye out for the number of liters of fuel left remaining until entered onto the first pit stop. So take your time and go faster onto the rush. So meanwhile, Insportec is still ongoing to catch up onto Dag_Burnett after the hairpin late braking point incident was actually just going to have to do some slight recovery. Will Insportec be able to make it on time until PR Suave is now going right in after taking turn 2 before going in onto turn 3, and here comes turn 4 and 5 until turn 6. We'll have to step right in onto the apex without having a contact, and there it goes. There's a penalty for having a 0.5 seconds to be effect. That makes ignoring the track limit is going to be on PR Suave, folks. That makes Dag_Burnett has the opportunity. Will be going in onto the side-by-side towards at the end of Sector 2 before moving on into after taking Sector 1 to be pressed on. And here it goes. Looks like this is going to be having a struggle contact. Just going to have to keep some sparks out, folks. That makes the bad sign whenever we have to do some good paces without having some slight mistake. There you go. Position number 11 for N-Sportec by the overtake, and dive down onto the hairpin again. Sector 2 makes a very good gauntlet course whenever we have to keep up onto the high pace to go faster. If we can probably have to get closer onto the main opponent. So Sector 2 is going to be clear checked and head out onto Sector 3 again in the 5th lap. Teamwork makes a very good essential to master the corners between Tokyo Expressway and the Ford GT40 Mark I was actually turns out to become a very good premium livery ready for every GT players, especially Ford fans, by using this car. Time to kick things up onto the 4th gear. Moving on towards lap number 6 after the 5th lap. Here we go. I'm about to chase PR Suatman is now going right in onto turn 1. Come on, just gonna have to take it inside dive in maneuver. Just stay in a good better balance. Come on, kinda have to get closer because 0.9 seconds up ahead is gonna be doing a lot of chances. And there it goes. The length of the distance is about to get a little bit further by remaining for PR Suatman, while Dag_Burnett and UDRS N-Sportec is still going right in onto the main battle course. We'll have to get over onto the short straightaway to be at the next turn. And here's PR Suatman cross the penalty line and takes the short recovery. That makes Dag_Burnett and N-Sportec will be staying in onto the current position to have a different order between 8th, 9th, and 10th place towards the end of the first sector, and comes right back in onto the curved straightaway tunnel in sector number 2. Gonna stay on track. 2 red Ford GT40s is gonna be the only main objective. It's like red versus blue, but different racing matters will have to go forward. And then here comes the stopping point. Better make sure to go over onto the pit stop. Will be need some refuel requirement. That will be the perfect time. So let's get in there and do a different stop and go strategy without having a tire change, and that will be quite giving some good requirement onto the recommendations to be at the stopping point. Just gonna have to stop about over 75%. Gonna have to wait for my crew to get ready to do some refuel requirement. No tire change allowed. That's how the only map that works in general to be taking part of the Manufacturer Series and Nations Cup for having that kind of a good strategy. All set and good to go. Pit out. Get back on the track, and here's Resort Crabs in 11th place with a different checkered taxi style of the Ford GT40. But by the way, Resort Crab's livery is actually pretty good to have a different taxi style liveries. Just like the contractor from Motorflix Season 4 Episode 1 is actually to be taking part of the urban cities. Just like Tokyo Expressway to have a different urban city background. But of course, I'm also enjoy playing in the crew too. Was all about doing some different driving experience in 3 different types by land, sea, and air, by any vehicles in different disciplines. Now let's just gonna have to go back in to do some racing moments to be in GT Sports. Press on to be in lap number 7, and here it goes on to turn number 1 to be pressed on for N-Sportec to catch up onto Resort Crabs. Time to switch back on to power number 1 and go over onto the limit. And there's Joshua JB in the lead, followed by Sako Crowley in 2nd place, followed by Dag_Burnett in 3rd place. But where's Road_Hog 2? 19 drivers are still out there in session of the lobby, but they still never give up with any chances to be taking part of the first round in the Road to GT7 Series onto the Special Championship on Gran Turismo Sport. But clearly, This makes a very good Perfect Racing Opportunity game to be debuted on PlayStation 4 since 2017. But we still enjoy racing on Gran Turismo Sport to have all kinds of different vehicles in different events, including custom race as well. There it goes right now. We have 2 drivers enter to the pits by need a refuel requirement. And there's Fast Ginger 2 press on to be in 2nd place, and Dag_Burnett is still on the standby in 3rd place. Will Dag_Burnett could probably have to stay on it? Nope. It's Rev_Limit Pusher is climbing up onto the 3rd position. But where's Road_Hog 2? He's still in the top 5 position, but clearly we'll have to make sure to keep an eye out onto the result summary outcome. Now, looks like position number 11 for UDRS Insportec is climbing up onto to the end of Sector 2 before entered again onto Sector 3. But I know it is going to be quite doing some difficult speaking because I just might need some braces. Otherwise, I just might need to have everything to be doing some well spoken, because I just might have to get some braces whenever I have to get everything to be good as new after some crossbite. But let's just gonna have to cut the topic and press on to do some more racing. Alright, where was I? Okay, 2 more laps to go. Lap number 8. Let's go in there and continue to chase for Insportec to be dived down onto turn number 1. Looks like Resort Crabs and the taxi style livery of the Ford GT40 is still keep going to catch up onto Major_Kudos in 9th place. Dive in over onto the 2nd straightaway to be pressed on to be on the breaking point in turn number 2. There it goes right now. Insportec will have to do the same and keep a good aim onto the apex without ignoring the track limit. That's the spirit. Alright, there you go. Gonna have to keep a little bit closer in about 2.4 seconds to go. Sector 1 comes in towards the end until we're about to go right back onto Sector 2. Come on. I know my Ford GT40 is all about doing some clean competition to do the final showdown. And there goes Fast Ginger 2 enter the pits by only 1% of the fuel. If that makes someone_terrible is now climbing back in onto 3rd place. However, UDRS Insportec almost barely had the chance without getting hit by a penalty in 1.5 seconds. Gonna have to press on to be in the hairpin before Fast Ginger 2 is coming out. 10th place is now climbing up. It's going to be so remarkable to have a wonderful start in the first round in the final championship in 2022, folks. Hopefully, Gran Turismo 7 takes a few days away until March 4th, so better have to keep a good eyes out for the number of days. But good thing I just already got everything to be on pre-ordered. Take on for the final turn. Keep a good steady pace. Alright, lap number 9, 1 more to go. Time to go dived in onto turn 1 again. Insportec still barely tries to keep up onto the high pace. Without having a 1.5 second penalty by hitting the barrier, it will be quite giving a good ability onto the classic supercar. We'll have to master the differences between modern and the past. We'll have to do some different experiences. We'll have to do some R&D testing runs after the practice. Hold on, looks like this is not good. Oh man, this is definitely not good. It's PR Suat man just barely took an impact at UDRS Insportec by an accident. That is definitely not okay to see how Insportec just barely took a single accident damage. But I mean, let's take some damage reports. Ouch, looks like the rear just barely took a scratch out. That makes Insportec is going on for having an upsetting moment. that makes a very tough start for UDRS Insportec in the road to GT7. But what will happen to see when Insportec can actually try to go for another chance? But after taking many chances on point race entries, we'll have to do the same, because I also used the 4 amount. We'll be given the final entry to be giving one last stand. But anyway, this is going to be the last point race entry for Insportec, because the first round was all about taking a rough start. But I know this is how it is, because that makes differences to have Insportec will have to do some different practice on every racetrack whenever we have to do a singular session. But that makes a very different disappointment. But anyway, I have to go over onto the final lap. But sorry about that, I just barely lost my head because taking a lot of focus is all about doing some best moments in the GT sport history. Alright folks, this is it. The final lap, and here we go. Let's bring home onto the finish line. Now we have Joshua JP in the lead in the Mazda RX 500. That makes Rev_Limit Pusher in the same car is climbing up onto the second position. Comes in onto the first sector, is going on the rush, and reached over onto the tunnel straightaway to be on the curve before it ends up onto sector number 1. Heads up before coming in at turn number 2. We have Demonizer in the KTM Expo R. Okay, Demonizer is here. Gonna have to go dive in. Insportec takes the chase before moving on towards the penalty line to be added up onto 0.5 seconds. That makes 2 seconds. 2 second penalty limit is ignoring the track on the slow down position. And there you go, Demonizer in the KTM Expo R is now going faster by the opportunity, while Insportec is now for the recovery by having a hazard lights to be turned on. Sector 1 is coming closer to the end, and here we go. Let's get in onto the tunnels at sector number 2. So it looks like Joshua JP is going in to take the S curves in the final sector. Rev_Limit Pusher can actually try to keep things up a notch until coming in onto the second sector at the end. So let's see how things might have to go on out there for the top 3 drivers. Now hold on, looks like this is definitely not good for Insportec by hitting the barrier before coming in onto the hairpin. Another 1.5 second penalty is actually called in, and we have Joshua JP takes home the podium at the final lap in the first round in the road to GT7 Series. That makes first place is on, wait, hold on. This makes it automatically default. It's Rev_Limit Pusher takes the winning spot at default, followed by Someone_Terrible moves on in second place, and that makes Road_Hawk2 is now in third place as well. Everyone is now moving on to be in the finish line to be moved forward onto the different position. That was a very good, incredible race, folks. That was a very good city course race at Tokyo Expressway in the South Interloop District. And there goes Insportec of the Ford GT40 moves on to be in the 13th position until the 14th stops in. Great work out there, folks. Classic Supercar take part in the first round in the road to GT7 by using the Ford GT40 Mark I as the main recommendation, and especially a Mazda RX 500 driven by Rev_Limit Pusher did a successful first place victory win to be at the podium. Results complete in round 1 to the road to GT7 Series. Now that's competition. So now that makes a very rough start in 14th place for the United Defensive Reformation Service in the road to GT7 Series. Round 1 is going to be marked on the check mark, and that makes for only a first round, only 3 more to go by the remaining. Points earned to be at 62 points, and that makes a very difficult start to have an N300 race in Tokyo Expressway. So let's go and collect some earnings and head out onto the results. But it was a very good, fantastic race for having a new start in 2022. But we did our best out there because having a rough start in round number 1 is a pretty difficult opportunity to be taking part in the special championship. So, the winner in first place goes to Rev_Limit Pusher in the Mazda RX 500 1970, followed by in second place Someone_Terrible in the Ford GT40 Mark I 1966, along with Road_Hog 2 in third place. Great job, you three. Way to keep things up and climb up onto the top 3 position to have a good spot into the podium. Now, looks like this is the perfect time to go and congratulations to Road_Hog 2 and Someone_Terrible. And especially for Rev_Limit Pusher as well. Good job, by the way, folks. But it was a very fantastic race to be taking part in the first round. In the Road to GT7 Series is going to be having the first week on Saturdays until we're about to be moving on into round 2. Alright viewers, it's time to get ready. Alright viewers, time to have an after racing report in round 1 at Tokyo Expressway South Interlude for the N300 category. In lap number 9, I was so close to have a good perfect turn at turn 2 before P.L. Suoutman accidentally hit me on the rear, but he should rather have to use the right side by having a clean overtake. That's how turn number 2 in the South Interloop of Tokyo Expressway works in general when participate in the competition, just like Manufacturer Series and Nations Cup. But clearly, I just ended up onto a different position in the final point race entry because this will be the final fort is recently I used. But not to worry because I was a little bit upset and a little bit frustration. But make sure race politely and have a good successful competition to be starting out in the first round in the Road to GT7 Series before moving on into round 2 for the next race at Suzuka Circuit for the Group 3 category. Grid start with full start check with 3 tire compound with the mandatory requirement, and also with some tuning will be enabled as well. Well, guess I had to putting up with some different recordings after I got a little bit speechless. Sorry about that, folks. But also for the bright side, the Michelin Pilot Sport tire sticker on the Ford GT40 Mark I with the UDRS InSportec will be having a cheer up reward challenge, and also for a surprise outro to have a different style and a good music whenever you like to hear. So I hope you like it. Let's get ready to wrap this up. Thank you for watching on my video in Gran Turismo Sport, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media platforms like DeviantArt, Instagram, GT Planet, Twitter, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Total Drama fan art with car liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be see you guys next time on Gran Turismo Sport, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.